A Norwegian man has been arrested for playing a Japanese visual novel. Or actually, no, that's slightly misleading. A Norwegian man has been arrested for having played, at some point in the past, a Japanese visual novel. How is this reality? How... You know, if somebody was to write a movie about Norway, people would slam it for being unrealistic. As on the one hand, our actual criminals live on luxurious island resorts. No shit, this is Bust-A prison right here. Meanwhile, some rando downloads a Japanese video game off the internet and goes to jail for it. So, anyways, this is the original Norwegian article that has now hit mainland news, and no, it wasn't me, Your Honor, I swear. Although I'm feeling almost a little exposed even talking about it now, as apparently simply just having access to the images is in and of itself a crime, which incidentally also means that right now everyone with access to Twitter or the internet at large, well, by Norwegian estimates anyways, they're sex offenders against children. Logic has always been a very difficult concept for the Norwegian justice system to understand, as Norway is indeed one of those countries that goes, oh no, the drawing has been raped. As legally speaking, the Norwegian court system is incapable of telling the difference between a human child and a JPEG. Legally speaking, there is no distinction whatsoever. So, God, there's a lot of comic books we need to make very, very legal in this nation. But so, to make this even better still, who caught this dangerous criminal? Well, it was an American organization, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which, by the way, also receives millions of dollars in US federal funding. So, when you're paying taxes in America, or donating to charitable causes like finding exploited children, which is a fantastic cause, do be aware that sometimes when they say children, they too mean drawings of children. Hell, in the case of the game in question, which was Life with Slave, I believe is the English translation, they don't even actually ever mention her age, apparently, but the Norwegian court system are experts at determining what age a child is, despite the fact that, yet again, legally, we have no idea about the difference between a human child and a PNG. You'd think that the last few thousand years of human survival might have given us some general idea of this, but no, apparently not. So, this also popped up on 4chan, who also created a translation of the Norwegian article here. In this article, the man in question admits that he did play the game. That's very silly. Never admit anything to the police, ever. God, I'm even usually on the police's side. And he also claims that he played the game, which at this point is basically a meme game, in the safe mode, as the primary complaint from the Norwegian judicial system is that this is a abuse video game. Now, from what I could tell, Dore to no Seikatsu, which is a game made by a rather famous Japanese VN developer whose entire idea is to create weird and disturbing situations and then transform them into something nice. For example, another video game of his features a literal eldritch abomination for you to fall in love with. And the entire point behind Dore no Seikatsu appears to be, here's a young girl, she has been abused terribly, you must now save her. You must feed her, you must clothe her, you must buy her sweets and desserts and make her happy. That is the thing. The person that was arrested claimed to have played the game in the mode where there is no sexuality, where there's no abuse or anything. But the court decided that because there is abuse material, in other parts of the game, well, by sheer proximity, he is now guilty. Fucking fantastic. And okay. They also go on to say, in the article here, that apparently just having the game in and of itself would be enough for a conviction. But he had also shared abuse material of girls. And yet, so he got 30 days in prison, I believe was here. I think this was another one. Another person that was sentenced to 3 months. I think this man was sentenced to 30 days or 60 days in prison. Okay, so let me get this straight. A child has been abused, violently so, horrifically so, and there are images of this horrific abuse. The person in question then decides to distribute these horrific abuse images. And again, there is no legal distinction between a child and a drawing, and you decide, 30 days in jail, that'll teach him. Oh, and a $200 fine as well, of course. Oh. This is so patent insanity that even the judge is sitting there going like, yes. That is the legal system. Yes, I legally cannot distinguish between the two. I'm gonna have to send you to jail for a couple of months. I know, they're literal JPEGs, but what can I do? And there's even Japanese politicians clowning on this now. A Norwegian man has been arrested over a Japanese-made game. This is truly unfortunate news. This game was released about 10 years ago and has sold 250,000 copies in Japan and other countries. If this game was dangerous and had a negative impact on society, serious incidents would have occurred by now. When we cross the line that fiction is fiction, this is the kind of society we become. Yes, I'm sorry. Japan is one example, but countries that still maintain this line must work hard to preserve it. So, okay, theoretically, right? Okay, you've got a game where you could theoretically abuse a child. All right, well, I mean, surely this is horrible. This is something we must make illegal, because imagine the consequences of allowing something like that. I mean, it would be hell on earth, surely. I wonder if we have a quick look at the rape statistics. Norway, rape per 100,000. 42,126. Wow, only to be outdone, of course, by our neighbour Sweden at 84,424. Okay, but Japan, holy crap, Japan must be something like a rape per person. At that point, if this is what happens in the countries that legally protect .jpegs, oh my god, Japan must be on fire. 2,180. Now, in my nation's defense, even if it does not fucking deserve it at this point, we do have a problem with demographics over here, causing a fair bit of this, including a period in Oslo where literally the only rapes committed were by our valued, freshly arrived countrymen. And also, a bit of a wider fact is that Norway's definition of sexual assault is basically any touch whatsoever that isn't desired. So kissing someone, well, that's rape by our definitions, because yet again, our legal system is patently, unironically, unavoidably retarded, and was created for not even a bygone age. Almost, okay, see, this is the thing. The Norwegian entire judicial system, which has a maximum sentence, by the way, of 20 years. So conceivably, if you, rape, torture, and kill someone, 20 years in jail and you're right back out again. Although we do have a system that can keep people in jail technically indefinitely if they are found to be dangerous to society, etc. But the point is, our entire legal system, the reason why we have prisons like this, is because we wish to reintegrate everybody. This is a prison. We are of the opinion that once a reasonable, rational, right, man misbehaves, he can basically be given a timeout for a few months or maybe a couple of years, and he'll be like, shit, I'm sorry, I crashed out, you've taught me the error of my ways, I can reintegrate in society again. And that actually did work out very well for us. Our idyllic, naive, idiotic system worked wonders up until a certain point, as our entire legal system was basically based on hopes and dreams and optimistic assessments that could only exist within very specific circumstances that we have long since lost. And even things like this, these are in essence mind violations more so than anything. Any reasonable person, even indeed the court itself, understands that there is absolutely no comparison between the abuse of an actual child and a fucking .exe. Nobody thinks that. Absolutely nobody reasonable believes that. But because we created a system that was almost as much based on societal shame as actual punishment of criminals, indeed, the punishment part wasn't even the intent. It was a secondary or tertiary concern for the handful of 0.1% rare individuals who couldn't be reintegrated into society. This is what we end up with, and it is idiotic. Not to mention, of course, again, from what I could tell from looking into this video game, the literal point of the game is to make the little girl happy. The entire gist of this guy's creations, including various eldritch monstrosities, is to take something ugly, something that might initially be repulsive, and turn it into something beautiful. But yet again, our puritanical idiot state is not quite intelligent enough to grasp the subtleties of that one. No way. I think I've said before that I would like to replace our entire judicial system and the world's with AI, and I would like to reiterate that position right now. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.